everybody. Hello, it is Batty Chatty once again, and we are going to be talking about horror sequels today. Hey everybody. Hey Justin. Hope everybody's doing really good. Just gonna let a few people get on here before we start the discussion. It is horror sequels today. I'm gonna talk about the horror movies that we love their sequels, the ones that we could have done maybe without, all of those wonderful, wonderful things about horror. Hey, how's it going? I can't believe it's already been a week. Hope you guys are all doing good. Hey, George. Yeah, so horror sequels. What are some of your most favorite horror sequels? Like, franchises that you love almost every single sequel. I know there's tons of franchises where you probably are like, I don't like most of their sequels. Some people don't like sequels at all. Wrong Turn 2. I liked Wrong Turn 2. I like most Wrong Turns, actually. I was not a fan of the fourth one, but I think I liked all the other ones. Scream. Yes, Scream is a great one. Scream 2, Terminator 2, Aliens, Annabelle Creation, Wrong Turn 2. Hey, Wayne. I'm going to try to read them all off. Friday the 13th Part 2. That is one of my favorite sequels. And in fact, I love the first 4 Friday the 13th the best. Yeah, some of those are really great. But I think Part 2 is my very favorite. Hostel 2 is a great one. In fact, I liked Hostel 2 better than Hostel. And I liked Hostel quite a bit. Let's see here. Trying to wave back all you guys. The Fly 2 is one of your favorites and underrated sequels. I liked that one. Conjuring 2. Conjuring 2 is another good one. Thoughts on It Chapter 2? Looking forward? Yes. I am definitely looking forward to that. I think it's going to be great. I mean, with the cast, they certainly can't go wrong. And if we're going anything by what the first one was, Part 1 or Chapter 1, I think it's going to be really great. Hellraiser 2, that is one of my favorite ones. Feast 2, I've not seen any of the other Feast movies except for the first one. I need to check them out, though. I know I do, because I've heard good things about them. Speaking on underrated sequels, Urban Legend Final Cut. Yes, I liked that one, too. Return of the Living Dead 2. Yeah. So there's so many sequels, you know what I mean? And when a movie gets really popular, of course, hey Melissa, Gremlins 2, when they get really popular, it seems like, sequels are inevitable. Like, I have not seen Happy Death Day to You yet, but I really loved the first one. I just thought it was a fun movie. I heard it's not as good as the first one, but I mean, so many of the time sequels are not as good as the first one, so that doesn't really bother me. But it's great when a sequel is as good or even better than the first one. Gremlins 2. Did I already read that? I don't remember. I liked Gremlins 2. The first one is my favorite, though. The Hatchet series is fun. Yes, I agree. The Hatchet series is a fun one. Otis, were you going to come up here? My kitten's running around, so he may make an appearance. Let's see here. What other ones? Like Nightmare on Elm Street. The first one is my favorite, but there is so much love for the third one. There's actually quite a lot of love for the second one as well, but I really liked New Nightmare too. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, that's a fun one. Jaws. I love all of the Jawses, even if some of them got hokey. Have I seen Corbin Nash? I worked on it. Corey Feldman plays a cross-dressing vampire. You know what? I started to watch that, and my husband wasn't into it, so I have to go back and finish it. That's really cool that you worked on that. Who's my favorite horror character? My favorite horror character is Michael Myers. And a close second would be Sam from Trick or Treat, which I am dying for a Trick or Treat sequel. I know it's been 10 years, but, you know, we need that. Nightmare 2 is good, underrated, not as good, but still very good. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Let's see here. What other sequels have I been watching recently? What other sequels do you wish they do? You know, the other sequels or prequels that I wish that they would do, I really want a Nightbreed prequel. I don't think they could do a sequel because it's just past time to do a sequel, but I would love a prequel, like getting to know all the monsters that live in Midian and that kind of thing. I would think that would be really, really cool. You love the Chucky Child's Play sequels, even though the later ones can get dumb and silly. I happen to agree with you. I totally agree with you, Wayne. In fact, out of all of the Chucky movies, I think Bride of Chucky might be my favorite. Even though it's campy, I still love it. What movie that has no sequel do they think you... There's several movies that I would love for them to have a sequel. Do some of them need them? They probably don't. But I would love a Constantine sequel. I would love... I'd love to see another Would You Rather, actually. You know, a whole nother group. Best horror sequels: Evil Dead 2, Texas Chainsaw 2, Conjuring 2. Nightbreed, good choice. Thank you, Lorraine. Let's see here. Erica, do you prefer Halloween 2 from 1981 or Halloween 2018 as the sequel? I have to say I prefer the 2018. I do love Halloween 2, but there's so much just crawling around the hospital crying that I prefer the 2018. I like both timelines though, you know, with or without the sequels. What do you think about sequel for Splice? That would be an interesting one. I would watch that. I liked Splice. Dog Soldiers needs a sequel. I would love that. I would really like that. Pet Sematary 2. I liked that. I liked Pet Sematary 2. I am so looking forward to that reboot for that. Do I like Rob Zombie's take on Halloween? it's different, and I did like it. I liked the first movie much more than the second. You know, I didn't like that they switched out Michaels, but what can you do? That actor got kind of too old to play Michael again, you know, because it had been a couple years and he had grown out of that age bracket. But yeah, I liked Rob Zombie's take on Halloween. It was different. You wouldn't mind seeing a sequel to Slither. I would totally watch that. Sounds like you're on the set of Hostel. Oh yeah, maybe I should turn my TV down. I have no solicitors on. I don't know if any of you guys have seen that movie. It's pretty campy and pretty bad, but it was something to watch. Hey Erica, Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake was awesome. I loved the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. Ginger Snaps, in your opinion, I don't think that it needed a prequel. I thought it was pointless and weird, but what is your opinion on the sequel to that movie as well as the prequel? Funny thing about Ginger Snaps, I saw the prequel first. Unbeknownst to me, I was at the video store, or when we still had video stores, and they were selling off older DVDs, and I saw it and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get this because it was super cheap. Took it home. I really liked it, but that was the very first one I had seen, so I started with the prequel. Now, if I would have started with the regular Ginger Snaps, saw part 2, and I liked part 2, and then saw the prequel, I would see your point of it being pointless and kind of bizarre and strange, but because of the way I saw them, I liked it. If that makes sense. The Strangers Pray at Night. I have not seen that one yet. I keep meaning to, and I haven't seen it. I'll probably watch it after this live feed. Another sequel I loved is The Devil's Rejects. I love it. Can't wait for the new one. The Devil's Rejects is probably one of my very favorite sequels of all time. I love that movie. I could watch it. Every time I watch it, I just find it funnier. The dialogue in that movie just cracks me up. It makes me laugh. I think it is my happy place, if that makes any sense. But yeah, no, I love that movie. And I can't wait for 3 from Hell. I honestly want to see a sequel worthy of The Lost Boys. I heard the 2 made were garbage. When I first saw, I would have to say, when I first watched the Lost Boys sequels, I would have agreed that they were garbage. I have since then watched them over a couple more times, and they're not as bad as I thought they were in the beginning, because when I watched them after I'd already seen them, I wasn't expecting greatness. But yeah, they're not that great. We could have done without them, but they weren't horrible. They were B movies, though. Have I heard the rumors of a new Nightmare on Elm Street and about Robert Englund reprising the role? You know, Melissa, I just found out that he has been rumored to say that he's open to do one more Freddy. I thought he had completely closed that door and was like, no, I'm done. But if he is willing to do one more, I'm all for it. I would love to see him as Freddy again. But I don't want a horribly campy, idiotic movie either. I mean, if that makes sense. You know, I want the last one to be a really great one. Erica, do you like I Still Know What You Did Last Summer? It's inferior to the first, but I liked it. First. But I've watched it a number of times. And I don't mind it at all. If I had the choice between the two, I would for sure go with the first, though. Yes, Robert Englund. I just heard Robert Englund is just such a nice, warm man. And, you know, he only lives, about 30 miles from my house. Maybe less, maybe like 25. I should go hang out in Laguna Beach and see if I can't run into him. What are you thinking about Friday the 13th? I love the first 4 Friday the 13th the best. Hi Stanley. Hello Erica and everyone. Have you guys seen Tormented and Tormented? And Torment and Tormented. Got them today and watched the Bye Bye Man and Don't Breathe. Great movies. I have not seen Torment and Tormented. I have seen I've seen the other two. And Bye Bye Man gets so much hate, but I really didn't think it was that bad. I've seen so much worse. I mean, I've watched it several times and I enjoy it. Don't Breathe's great, and I can't wait for it to have its sequel. If they were to make it, how would you guys feel about a reboot of The Crow? They were talking about that, and Jason, I always butcher his last name, Momos? You know who I'm talking about, Aquaman. And Aquaman was supposed to play him, but then he pulled out of that project, so maybe it's not going to get made. I don't know. The Crow's many sequels were not very good. I didn't like most of them and have only watched a few of them because there's way more than you might think there is. Brandon Lee was the Crow, you know, so it's really hard. Oh, you met him? Nice, Tom. Nice. Bye for now. Nice chatting with you. See you, Melissa. Thank you for stopping by. Let's see here. Did I miss any comments? No on The Crow with the right actor, maybe. Yeah, I just don't know who the right actor would be. Brandon Lee was the right actor for that role. Right? I mean, as far as I'm concerned. Let's see here. Did I miss any? I know I always end up missing some of your guys' comments, and I'm so sorry I missed some. Let's see here. Momea. Thank you. Thank you for that. I always butcher it, Jay. Thank you. I need phonics training. Yeah, nobody can top Brandon Lee. I mean, it's just so sad that, you know, he was cut down in his prime too. He was gonna do some great things. Hello. Thoughts on Resident Evil? I really like the Resident Evil franchise. I like probably the first 4 movies the best. Yeah, probably the first 4 movies the best. The last couple of them were not as good, I didn't think. And then they're talking about rebooting the entire series. I mean, when you have 6 or 7 movies in a series, kind of the same as Chucky for Child's Play. Why would you reboot the entire series? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Dude from Umbrella Academy would be a great Crow. You know, I started watching Umbrella Academy. Hello. And but I was online, and you know, sometimes, and I got busy, and so then I wasn't paying that close attention. So I need to restart it and pay more close attention to what's on the TV than on my computer screen. How about The Omen? But the 1976 one. You can't believe how I fell in love with that movie. I love The Omen. The Omen is one of the creepiest movies out there, and Damien, its sequel, is fabulous. That actor really captured how creepy Damien should be, I thought. And I didn't mind Final Conflict with Sam Neill. I thought he did really well, even, you know, Damien being grown up. And then the fourth one with the little girl as being the demon child, I didn't mind that one. That one was not as good. The first two were the best ones, I thought. The reboot on Omen, I didn't mind. I know a lot of people didn't like that one, but I didn't mind it. Exorcist was great, but the sequel, what a pity. Oh, I have got to tell you, George, that is, when people say what is the worst sequel out there, I have to say Exorcist 2: The Heretic is probably damn near unwatchable for me. It's painful to watch for me. I cannot watch it. The acting just seems so forced, and the dialogue just doesn't flow, and the story's confusing and seemed like it was almost rushed. It makes no sense to me. Hey, you've bought the entire Blu-ray set but haven't watched it yet. Of what, Brian? Hey, how's it going, guys? The movie Virus was an awesome movie, good story and gore, one of your favorites. I don't think I've seen Virus. I need to check that out. You know, I know I'm late to the party when it comes to like Netflix and Prime and the streaming services and stuff. I just got a Fire Stick probably 2-3 months ago. So I have Netflix and I have Prime. And, you know, I've been fiddling around with it. And so then I found Tubi, which is so awesome and free. And Pluto, which is awesome and free. And Freedive, which is also awesome and free. So my watching ability is triple-fold. Oh, The Omen. Oh, nice, Brian. What awesome movie, older but awesome. Hey there. Sleepaway Camp 2 was okay, but nothing beats the first. I've not seen its sequels. So I can't weigh in on that. Nightmare on Elm Street remake was awful. Yes. I have to agree with you, Ryan. I have watched it many times, actually, and they did the best with what they were given. I think they had a bad script, and you know, the actors can only do so much. Yes, Stanley, Tubi has awesome horror. I'll put it on that, and then I lose myself on that, and my husband ends up coming home and he's like, oh, what are we gonna watch? Because it's sort of my job to find something to watch. so that we don't have to like look at, well, what should we watch? What should we watch? Like for an hour before we find something. So I sort of am supposed to do that during the day, and he'll be like, oh, what are we watching? And I'm like, oh, I've been on Tubi all day watching horror. Let me look for something. So it's pretty funny. I've watched They Sometimes Come Back trilogy on Tubi, and they aren't bad at all. First one's the best. I have that in my queue. I need to watch that. Actually, George, I like Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3 better. Freddy and Halloween were awesome. I have the Wishmaster box set of all 4 movies, but I still haven't watched any of them. Are they any good? Justine, they are fun. Are they good? If you're in the mood for them, they are. They're a bit campy, but they're definitely worth watching at least once. And some of them are better than others, but I've watched them all more than once. They're fun. They're fun, but they might be something might need to be in the mood for a little bit of camp. Friday the 13th got ridiculous. Oh, as many sequels as they've had. I was really hoping for a 13th sequel to be released on Friday the 13th, which they messed up by not doing that last year. I was bummed, but what do you do? Looking forward to the new sequel to Halloween 18. I'm looking forward to that too. Good app to be. Yes, I agree. How about Rosemary's Baby? What does it need a sequel? I would watch a sequel to that. Erica, you should watch Sleepaway Camp 2 and 3. Pamela Springsteen is awesome in them. Thank you. I'm pretty sure that those are on some of those streaming sites I already mentioned. So hopefully I can check them out. When you think about Horror Fest and After, what do you guys think about Horror Fest and After Dark movies? Some are good, some aren't. Like everything. I'm not a tough critic. I have to tell you. There are people out there that are super tough critics on movies, and more power to them. That's, everybody likes what they like. I am not tough on movies. If it entertains me in the slightest, I'll say I liked it, because I probably did. It has to be a really awful movie for me to say, oh my God, this was terrible. And it has to be even more awful for me to stop it and not complete it. If I'm 40 minutes into a movie, I'm going to watch the whole thing just to finish it. There has been some that I have not, which means they're super bad. But, everybody likes what they like. Here's too much obvious. 1, Troll 2. I don't mind the trolls. Trolls are okay. Not online. I meant the movies. I didn't mind the troll movies. Creepshow 2, what do I think? I love Creepshow, and I loved Creepshow 2. I thought they were both great. Has anybody seen Whatever Happened to Rosemary's Baby? I have not seen that. I didn't know that Rosemary's Baby had a sequel. When was it made, Stanley? What's your hopes and thoughts on the reboot of Child's Play? My hopes and thoughts of the reboot of Child's Play, I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping it's good. I wish them nothing but positivity, but problem being, why don't you just make another movie about a doll that just doesn't look like Chucky? You could have made an entire... You name the doll a different name. I mean, he looks sort of the same, but sort of different. But he's going to be all upgraded and kind of computer-like and what have you. So, I mean, just make a different movie. Make the doll look like something else. Don't you guys, don't filmmakers have imaginations at all? That's my thought on it. I will be watching it, but his name's Buddy, not Chucky. And if Brad isn't voicing him, he's probably gonna fall flat for me, but I'm gonna try to go in with as much positivity as I can. Saw, it was very good. I liked the Saw series. It's not for everyone, obviously. Not anything is for everyone, but I probably liked the first three, and then sort of include the fourth, the best out of the series. Don't you think House of Wax needs a sequel? I would love that. I would like that. I would totally watch that. House of Wax, they totally left it open for a sequel, but they didn't do one. That's a good one. That's a good one, George. Unless it has one and I didn't know it. Art the Clown movie is awesome. Yeah, that one's a sequel, isn't it? Terrifier. Isn't Terrifier a sequel of some other movie? Because Art the Clown was in another movie and it's sort of a sequel. Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels are my favorite, with the exception of the new generation. The 2003 is probably my very favorite out of the bunch, out of all of them. And I know that's the reboot, but yeah, that one's probably my very favorite. I saw someone mention The Bye Bye Man earlier. I will admit that it was an entertaining movie. Only thing that disappoints me was the jump scares were a little bland to me, so it wasn't that scary. Maybe that's just me. No, it's not just you. I find a lot of jump scares tend to be predictable. It's like you're waiting for it, and then it kind of makes you wait a little bit longer, and then it's like, oh, god damn it, that thing. It, I mean, it's coming. It's coming. But, yeah, so, there's that. But, I didn't mind it. Can't wait for the second part of the new It. Yeah, same with me, Sam. Not sure about the date of release. It was made for TV movie. Maybe Google it. Thank you, Stanley. I will Google it. What happened to Rosemary's Baby? Thank you. Love Saw. It is good. You're welcome, George. Escape Room and Saw. Escape Room, the Saw remake, kinda. I've not seen Escape Room. I need to see that. A My Bloody Valentine sequel. That would be good. I would totally watch that. The Grudge 2, any good? I know a lot of people love the Grudge movies. They were not my favorite. I thought the first one was okay. And I didn't care for its sequels. But that's just me. I know a lot of people really like them. What's your thoughts of Children of the Corn? Did I like the sequels? I love Children of the Corn. I love the original Children of the Corn. Excuse me again. Its sequels can get hokey, but what I like to see in some of these kind of hokey bad sequels are some of these really young, up and coming quite famous actors in some of their very first starring roles. And you've got like Eva Mendes, and Eva Mendes is the only one that's coming to my mind. But you've got all of these people in these like roles that they're horror roles. And a lot of people get their start in movies and acting in horror movies because they're easier to get cast in than other movies. And so, you know, a lot of these mainstream stars owe their starts to the horror genre. Some of the, like I said, some of the Children of the Corn sequels are fun, and then some of them are just ridiculous and didn't need to be made. Art the Clown was in an anthology movie, All Hallows Eve. Okay, thank you, Brian. So they're supposed to be remaking Critters. Thoughts? I just watched the actual trailer, the official trailer for the new Critters movie, and what I liked about it is they're using practical critters. They're not, you know, maybe they're going to CGI up a few things, but they're using practical monsters, which makes me absolutely love it already. I remember going and seeing Critters when it first came out. I don't remember the date, but I was like in the 7th or 8th grade and loving it, thinking it was totally cool. And so, I mean, I think an updated version is totally good. I'm up for that. I always did like the very first Critter movie better than its sequels, because it has several sequels. All Hallows Eve 1, 2 are the Art the Clown. First appearance, then Terrifier. Thank you, Stanley. When I'm on here, I sometimes mess with my computer, but I'd rather not. So thank you for helping me out. My brain just doesn't hold everything anymore. Hey there. Have I heard anything on The Descent 3? I have not heard anything on The Descent 3. I liked The Descent 2. The Descent was great. The Descent 2, I thought was very, very cool. Almost as good as the first. I really liked it. Do I like Rob Zombie's Halloween? Yes, I do. Do I like his sequel to his Halloween? Not so much. I don't hate it. I do like, you know, them going to that party and all dressed up. I love their costumes and all of that, but I liked the first one better. Terminator 2, better than the first. Agree. Linda Hamilton was amazing in the sequel. She was amazing in that sequel, and I tend to have a ton of nostalgia for the first movie, and I know it's not as great. I know the first Terminator, quality-wise and production-wise and special effects-wise and everything, is not as great as Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is the superior movie. Which one do I love more? I love the first one. But that's purely nostalgic purposes and reasons. It has nothing to do with actually the quality of movie or anything. That Terminator 2 is the better movie as far as quality and stuff. Check out The Sandman. The late Stan Lee helped make it. It and Tobin Bell from Saw versus Dream Demon. It's awesome. Was that a sci-fi movie or was that a regular movie, Stanley? because I did see a movie called Sandman, but I think it was like made for sci-fi. So maybe it's a different movie. If that wasn't that movie, because I liked it. If there's another one, I totally want to see that. Let's see here. Jennifer Aniston in Leprechaun was her first movie. Yeah, see, like Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun. That was her first movie, which, you know, is awesome. I mean, it's awesome. Let's see here. Kevin Bacon and Johnny Depp, I believe they got their starts in horror. Yes, you're right. Kevin Bacon was in Friday the 13th. He was also in Animal House right around that same time. I don't know which one was exactly first for Kevin. Johnny Depp did get his start in Nightmare on Elm Street. The Gate. Oh, I love The Gate. And little Steven Dorff is so cute in that. Absolutely so cute. Let's see here. What's your thought about Evil Dead 2? Was it rad to you? I actually like the first one better. But it was great. It was great. I like every single Evil Dead movie. From the first one to the second one. I actually really love Army of Darkness, and I know it is campy as hell, but I really love Army of Darkness for some reason. And I really liked the remake. I thought the remake was great. Let's see here. Anybody remember One Dark Night? That sounds familiar, Stanley. There's a trailer for Descent 3, but can't find it anywhere. I know it's not horror, but more of a dark fantasy. I would love to see a sequel to Pan's Labyrinth. I would love to see a sequel to that too, and I consider that definitely horror. It is definitely a fantasy movie, but it has so many horror themes running through it that I consider it horror. Let's see here. James Cameron asshole always ups the stakes. That's true. He does always up the stakes. The Joyride series is fun. Yes, Wayne. The Joyride series and another series that reminds me of Joyride, Rest Stop. I think both of those series are very fun, and I really enjoy the entire series of Joyride. Even more so than Rest Stop. But yeah, no, I think they're great. Let's see here. Put this on something so it's not so quiet in my background. Rusty Nail is one of your favorite villain, and I don't mind when they make a fourth movie. Yeah, no, I don't mind. New Terminator due out by Christmas with Arnold and Linda. Really? I was hearing rumors about that, but I wasn't sure if it was gonna be an actual thing or not. Friday and Nightmare. I love those. Erica, the obvious question, Scream 5 without Wes. If Kevin Williamson directs it, would I be on board? Would I be on board or would I watch it? I would definitely watch it. And I would hope for the best. But I think Scream's wrapped up. Without Wes, kind of, to me, it's kind of like Nightmare on Elm Street without Wes. They can be okay, but they aren't going to be greatness. which is another reason why if Robert agrees to be Freddy one more time, you aren't going to get that greatness because Wes is gone. But, I mean, you can hope for the best kind of thing. So, I mean, what do you do? Johnny Depp as the Crow, maybe. Johnny Depp's past the age of jumping and leaping buildings. They'd need to get a younger guy for that. And as much as I love Johnny, he's getting a little puffy. He's starting to show his age just a little bit, which, I mean, we all do it, but he needs to not be in roles that are supposed to be for 25-year-olds. All right, screw Critters, remake. You think Pet Sematary remake is going to be good without the late, great Fred Gwynne? Fred Gwynne is Judd. He really is. Fred Gwynne made that movie for me. He really, I mean, as far as how wonderful that, I mean, I really, really love the book, Pet Sematary. When I saw the movie, I was like, wow, that really follows it pretty good. I mean, of course, to me, books are always better. But you can just get so much more in a book. You cannot get all of that detail out in a movie, or else every movie would be 6-7 hours long. Which sometimes I wouldn't mind, but there were aspects in Pet Sematary that were not as great. Some of the acting was not that great. That little girl drove me up a wall. I was, out of everyone in that family, they all died except that little girl. And I was like, the whole time I was like, kill the little girl. Oh my God, shut her up. So knowing that the little girl dies in this next movie, I'm so happy about that. Is that terrible or what? I was just like, oh, they're going to kill the girl first. That's got to be awesome. John Lithgow is an amazing actor. If anyone could compare to Fred, I mean, nobody will replace Fred Gwynne, but if anybody could do their best, John Lithgow will give him a run for his money as far as being a great actor and playing the part really well. It's just too bad Fred's not with us anymore, or else he could maybe reprise his role. The Wrong Turn franchise. Yes. I love all the Wrong Turns except for the fourth. I did not care for the fourth one. Johnny Depp also had an uncredited cameo in Platoon. I didn't know that. I had no idea. Not sure about Sandman movie. Got the DVD at Walmart. We'll check. Okay, thank you. Awesome. Yes, the first one is a masterpiece. The Evil Dead, some of the best camera work ever, and edited like a boss. Yeah, I mean, it's so hard to top some of these very first movies for me. Like I said, there are definitely movies that are better than there are definitely movies better than their first movie, but most of the time I really like the first one the best. Couple sequels I did not care for that much would be The Hills Have Eyes Part 2, especially the remake version, The Hills Have Eyes Part 2 of the newer ones. Not anything I probably ever need to see again. What's your favorite clown horror movie? Attack of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, The Clown, It, the new It. I would have to go with the 2017 It, would be one of my very favorites, and House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, because I love Captain Spaulding. I didn't mind the clown. I wanted more evil clown. You know, I don't really care for clowns. The clowns I really like. The rest kind of creep me out, which is their appeal. You know, so some of them, okay, yeah, they're creepy. Ew. I don't have that clown phobia at all, so that's all right. You know, seeing them, watching them, whatever is totally fine. If I saw one in person and it was like messing with me, I would probably get the heck out of Dodge. They creep me out quite a bit. No, it's a rumor. The new Terminator will be a direct sequel to the second. Oh, I like that. I like that. No, it's not a rumor. I like that, George. Let's see here. Have you seen the Pulse movies? Did you like them? I'm not sure that I've seen those. I don't think I've seen them. I need to see them. Puffy. Yeah, no, Tom, I'm just seeing this now. I don't know. Maybe he was having a bad day when that photo shoot was going on. I don't know. Maybe he'd been drinking a lot. That can make you puffy. Maybe he was sick. You know, some medications make you puffy. I wasn't really saying that he'd gotten fat. I was just saying that his face looked round. The Hills Have Eyes remake was one of my very favorite remakes, but I didn't care for its sequel. The new Pet Sematary will be good, but I'm mad they're changing the hit by a truck death. I'm not mad about it. I don't know how the little girl gets it, if she's hit by a truck or not, but I'm so glad that the little girl gets it for some reason. Probably because I couldn't stand Ellie in the first one. One of my favorite franchise movies, The Final Destination. Yes. I love Final Destination. I have the 5-disc DVD thing, and I love them all. I'm not a huge fan of the fourth, but all of the others I really, really like. And I think that they could just go on forever with those, which would be great. I mean, I would say it's under slasher thriller, but I only like the first and second one. I guess I enjoy seeing the blood and looking at Allie Larder. Allie Larder was great. I really like the third one too, though. But the first and second are my favorites. Sometimes leaving a movie dead is better. Not sure about Pet Sematary. No, you're right. Sometimes leaving a movie is better. I agree. Thoughts on the Hatchet sequels? I think they're fun. I just watched the See No Evil sequel the other day, and I thought that was not as good as the first, but I had a fun time watching it. Did you like Tale of the Hood 2? I've not seen Tale of the Hood 2. Oh, and now I'm seeing, Brian, you said See No Evil. So you must have been reading my mind or telling me what to say. I had no idea you said that. The Exorcist 3 is one of my favorite sequels, in my opinion. It should have been Exorcist 2. The Heretic, no, you're absolutely right, Wayne, and I have said it. I've said it a million times before. I will say it probably a million times in the future. The The Heretic is the worst thing that ever happened to the Exorcist franchise. It's just god awful. It's painful to watch. It's painful. And yeah, it's just so bad. I can't stand it. He was fantastic. He was fantastic in Tim Curry. Sorry, someone said it, and my heart broke when nothing was said about the doctor. I love Tim Curry. And I always say how much I really like the new It movie. And that has nothing, that's no slight against Tim Curry's It, Pennywise, at all, because he was fabulous. I didn't really see it. I didn't see it when it first came out in 1990. I was more creeped out by clowns back then, so I was not in a hurry to watch it. And so I probably only saw it about 2, maybe 3 years ago. And so there's no nostalgia whatsoever for that movie with me, because I did not see it when I was younger. I, didn't see it until I was in my 40s. So, and it didn't age well. Some movies age really well. Other ones kind of show their age. I don't think it aged as well as it should have. Probably because it was a made-for-TV miniseries. But that's okay. I mean, and so many people love it. And it's good. I've watched it many, many, many times. I just prefer the newer one. And it's personal preference. It has nothing to do with, who's right or wrong or whatever. There's no right answer. But he was great in that role. I liked Hostel 1 and 2, didn't care for the third. I happen to agree with you. Your name's Josiah, right? If I didn't say that right, I'm so sorry. 1 and 2 were great. Part 3 in Vegas was just... It just wasn't as good. It kind of goes to show you, somebody takes somebody's idea, they get the rights or whatever, and they try to make their own version of it. Some of them work, some of them just, they fail miserably, and that was one of them. What they need is the Faculty. I would love that. That's another one of those movies, you watch it, and all of these stars are so young and in some of their very early roles, and they've gone on to do so many great and tons and tons of movies. So you've got people like Piper Laurie, which was the mom in Carrie, and she's an older woman in the Faculty. And then you've got some up and comers like Josh and freaking The Hobbit, Frodo. I forget his real name. So you've got all these young guys, and it's like, oh gosh, look at, they're so young. I don't know. I always do that. I'm like, oh my God, they're so young. Thoughts on Underworld? I love the Underworld franchise. I love them all. The fourth movie, God, why is it the curse of the fourth movie? There's so many sequels. When there's a long running set of sequels, the fourth one seems to be a miss. I did not care for the fourth one as much as all of the others. I liked Blood Wars way more than the fourth movie. But the first 3 were fantastic. I loved them. Hey, Annie. No, The Exorcist, the beginning. I didn't mind The Exorcist beginning. Horrible. That little boy his accent is so fucking misplaced. I hate him. That was shit all the way through. I don't know which. I'm lost on what one that is. Did I like the Creature from the Black Lagoon movies? I think they were totally underrated. Yes, I did. Why do I think Silent Night, Deadly Night series? I've only seen the first two. I think they're okay. They're a little campy. I don't mind them. They're good for around Christmas when I'm wanting a horror-themed Christmas thing. Yeah, no, I like them. Still waiting on the next Alien Covenant movie. Yes, speaking of Alien Covenant movies, I loved Alien, but I really loved Aliens, its sequel, probably more. The third Alien was, the fourth one was even less so. Prometheus was hard for me to get through. I need to watch it again. But I really loved Alien Covenant. Let's see here. Another movie I would love to have a sequel to would be Dead Silence. I would love for a sequel for Dead Silence. And not only because mummies tend to creep me the fuck out, because they do. They totally creep me out. I just think it was really cool. You know? Yeah, I just like that series. Or that movie. I would like it to become a series. Silence of the Lambs was great. I really enjoyed Hannibal too. I feel like Julianne Moore did a good job as Clarice, but she gets some hate. You know, I think she did great as Clarice. I really do. How do you follow that? How do you follow Jodie Foster's performance in Silence of the Lambs? It's not like she didn't get some recognition for that. I mean, didn't she get an Academy Award for that? I know she was nominated. Anyway, there's just, how do you follow that without people going, So I love all of the Hannibal movies. I really loved Silence of the Lambs is one of my favorite movies. Then you've got Hannibal. I loved Red Dragon. And I even liked Hannibal Rising. So I like them all. And I liked Manhunter. Red Dragon, the one that Red Dragon is the remake for. So I love them all. Hey Gary, no worries. Let's see here. Most Stephen King TV movies are horrible and not made for getting better as they age. But the 90s, late 80s, The Stand, fucking awesome. But now Rob Lowe will just be a young Dr. Evils, number 2. I really love The Stand too. And I happen to agree with you. Like Langoliers, even though I loved Langoliers, it had some awful special effects, and some of the acting was really terrible. The Tommyknockers was not that good of a movie or mini series. You've got several of these things. I never saw The Shining made for TV. I love the Kubrick version so much. I've just never watched the other one, and I need to because I want to. The Carrie made for TV, the 2002 with Angela Betts, is amazing. I love that one. And it aged well, but you're right, some of them just don't age very well. What about thoughts on the Saw franchise? I really like the first part of the Saw franchise, and then it just starts being gore for gore, just gore for gore's sake. And if that's what you're into, that's great. Doesn't bother me, but I sometimes want more than that. And the story gets kind of twisty and interesting, but not, I don't know, not that great either. I don't know. I like the first 3 the best of Saw. Fourth one's, I can include the fourth one as well, but not always. You said my name right. Oh, thank you, Josiah. I'm always worried I'm going to mispronounce somebody's name, and if I do, I'm never meaning to, you guys. I'm just trying to get through this as best I can. I can read, I promise, but I had a lot of special phonics training when I was younger, and that sometimes makes... I can read everything, but sometimes I pronounce it funky. The little boy who you are led to believe is the host. Oh, okay. Santa's sleigh. Dog Soldier's best werewolf movie ever. I really liked it. Prequel, it's here. Prequel of Alien series messed you up. I need to watch it again. I need to watch that one again. I really do. A sequel for Dead Silence would be... wouldn't it be cool, Wayne? It would be way cool. Yeah, Jodie won Best Actress. I thought she did, George. And, Julianne Moore is an amazing actress. I mean, I love her in everything she's done, really. But how do you follow Jodie's performance? I really think she did as well as anybody could have done. I mean, I don't think I could think of anyone else that could top that role except for maybe Jodie herself, which, what do you do? You're so confused. Did David create the xenomorphs? I think he did. Yeah. I think he crossbred them. This is my theory, Gary, and by no means is it any kind of facts involved. These are all my theories in my head. From what I got, it's, they land on the planet, and he's been on this planet for how long? Quite a while. And he's been experimenting and tinkering with crossbreeding different species that are already on that planet. And he's creating different strains and different animals, basically. And he hasn't actually got to the actual xenomorph that you see in Aliens, but it's very, very close. And I think he's, so pretty much I think, yeah, David created that. And since we created David, it's man sort of inadvertently created its demise. It totally, if you really start thinking about it, it can totally mess you up. You will never watch the remake of Rocky Horror ever. I never have watched that thing that they did for TV on Rocky Horror. I thought about it and I decided against it. Rob Zombie needs to make a Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. I would watch it. I am a Rob Zombie fan, though. I like his movies. They are not for everyone. I totally get why some people don't like him. But I happen to really enjoy what he does, and so yeah, I'd watch it. And I think some of Texas Chainsaw is supposed to be in his House of Thousand Corpse and Devil's Rejects movies. I mean, they're not eating people, but crazy weird family. I mean, sort of inbred-ish. It feels very Texas Chainsaw to me without it being Texas Chainsaw. Are they going to have a sequel to the Dark Tower movie? Are they planning to have a stream, or are they planning to have a streaming series? I don't know. I have not seen that Dark Tower movie, and I really want to. Somehow it's slipped by me. I don't know if it's on any streaming sites or anything. I'm sure it probably is. And if it is, I need to watch it tonight. But I really want to see it. When are we going to get a sequel to Trick or Treat? I have said that, Brian. When are we going to get that sequel? I know he was working on a lot of other projects, and so he was kind of putting it off, and he wasn't getting to it. But I mean, I know that Trick or Treat, there are a ton of Trick or Treat fans, and I know he gets a lot of people saying, hey, where is it? Last Saw film, didn't like it. Jigsaw, it wasn't my favorite. Speaking of those kind of sequels, like I just saw Rings. Now I love The Ring, and I know it's a remake of Ju-on, right? Which I didn't care for. But I did love the Ring. I didn't mind The Ring 2. It was okay. But I thought I actually liked Rings. I thought it was pretty good. Psycho sequels were good too. Underrated. Perkins is the best Norman. Yes, George. I love the Psycho sequels. Even the fourth one, I liked it. I liked them all. The Saw franchise, for me, just became the same movie over and over again with nothing new to further the storyline. Yeah, no, and I think that happened to a lot of people, Brian. I think a lot of people just got bored with it because it was just, I mean, they were sort of telling different stories, but they weren't, and it was just, yeah, I agree. I think, it ran its course. Dusk Till Dawn, the series. I like Dusk Till Dawn, the series. The very first movie is the best. Its sequels are not that great. It could have done without its sequels. They aren't garbage. Like, I mean, if one's playing, I won't turn it off. But I won't put one on purpose either, if that makes sense. Scariest and most impressive film in a whole well series actually raises the bar. Almost impossible for me personally to be impressed, blown away by, was his True Detective. I have got to tell you, Drew, me and my husband were just talking about this the other night, that Pizzolano, I think I said his name right, he hit such a grand slam with that first season of True Detective that all of the other seasons, I mean, how do you top that? How do you top that first season? The second season was good. It was good. This third season has been okay, but not as good as the second, and definitely not as good as the first. I mean, they're all great, but that first season it put the bar so high. I mean, the bar's way up here. Normally it's, okay, the bar's here and it's high. No. It's way up here. So it's like, how can you even touch that? So no, I completely agree. Off topic, check out the movie Southern Comfort, old school, great, and you should check it out. Thank you, Scott. I will. How about the Predator franchise? Predator franchise. I really like the first. I don't care for the second. What are we calling the third? Is the third Alien versus Predator? Is that what is the third? And then Predators? Or how would that go? Because I really liked Predators with Adrian Brody. I thought that was an awesome movie. I really liked AVP too. I really liked that movie. I did not care for Aliens versus Predators Requiem. I did not care for that one at all. It fell apart for me. I don't know why. And I've not seen the new The Predator. I've not seen that one yet. I was meaning to see it, and I just haven't gotten around to it. And I've heard a lot of good and bad. So, I mean, I hear a lot of good and bad about almost everything. So I always just kind of watch it anyway to see. Rob Zombie is fucking fantastic. Fuck the haters. Yeah, I don't begrudge people not liking him, but they need to not hate that I do. I don't know that because I love him. But Lords of Salem was awesome. I just watched Lords of Salem the other day, and the more I watch it, the more I like it. So I liked it. I love Dee Wallace though. Let's see here. The Grudge. I never watched past Saw 4, but my faves were the first two. I do, however, prefer the Cube movies more than I do Saw. I really liked the first Cube movie. The second one was good. I really liked it too. But the third one, I didn't care for it as much. Let's see here. The end of Saw 7, I wanted to find out what happened to Detective Hoffman and the next one, but they changed it up. Yeah, don't you hate it when they do that? You're like, you wait for a year, 2, sometimes 3 or 4. You wait to find out what happened to that character, and then they change the whole thing, and you're like, so you're just gonna leave me hanging? That bums me out too. Is there going to be the Frightener sequel in the works? You know what? I would love the Frighteners to have a sequel. I don't think that that's going to happen, but it would be amazing. I would absolutely love that. That's one of those that I really want them to have a sequel. I've not heard anything about it, though. Nobody cares about your opinion. Are you talking to me? That's... whatever. Anyway. What's your favorite non-horror sequel? Mine are The Godfather Part 2 and American Pie 2. Oh. If we're opening it up to everything, I can't even go there. I can't even go there. My head will explode if I try to think. I like the Dusk Till Dawn series, but I only watched the first season. I didn't watch the other seasons. I don't know how they were able to write such a close perspective on such a unknown truth on monsters and how they feed and who hold who holds spoons for them, high powers, etc. But True Detective was more than, yeah, there was a little fiction I'd unfortunately have a strong sense to say. Yeah, no, I really love that first season. Thank you, George. Yeah, thank you, George. All right. PJ, I own this group. I started it. I'm a creator of this group. If you want to talk shit about me or to me, you can fuck right off. So leave the group if you want. Or George, help him, please. No, George, just go ahead and do it, please. And delete everything that he's ever said on this thread, too. I'm done. Anyway, so back to fun stuff. Yeah, so the what other sequels are ones you like? Thank you so much, George. You're a doll. What other ones was I thinking about before I kind of got frustrated? Sequel could be off with a shaky start. Yeah. Don't everybody talk all at once. Sorry, guys. It too this year, Erica. Yes. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for it too. I cannot wait for so many things to come out. I just, my movie card is going to be full. I'm going to be going to the movies. It goes Predator. Thank you, Matt. It goes Predator, Predator 2, Predator versus Alien, Predator versus Alien Requiem, then Predators, then The Predator. Thank you. I was thinking I was having it go in the right, thank you, Brian. I was thinking I was having it in my mind. It was the right order, but I didn't know if I was actually saying it in the right order. Cabin in the Woods should hurry up and get started with number 2. Problem being, Cabin in the Woods, all the monsters were let out. So would it just be monsters eating everyone? Because the whole world's going to end? I mean, would they, because there's no way that, I mean, War of the Worlds, kind of, War of the Underworld with all this stuff, and it, thank you, George. Thank you. It's exactly what I wanted. I think it too is going to be huge, and we're most definitely going to have to have a main it too thread, because just everybody's going to be talking about it. 2001 Maniacs remake, and the sequel is great. I haven't seen the sequel. There are a lot of movies out there that I need to see their sequels. Some of them I need to see the actual movie. Have 1 and 2 of it. Love them both. Nice. Shoot, we've been going an hour and a half. Has it been an hour and a half or 2 hours and a half? I'm not sure how long we've been going, but we've been going a really long time. I love the science in Predator 2 with King Wooly, fucking voodoo magic man. I haven't seen part 2 in a really long time. I do own it. Anyway, sorry if that guy got me flustered. I'm a little bit flustered now. So, hey, Melissa, why don't we table this? Bill Moseley takes over the lead. Oh, does he? I need to see that. I am a huge Bill Moseley fan. You know that. There's a movie, Anna versus Zombie the Apocalypse, a musical. I've not seen that. Gary. What should our next topic be? I think, and we can continue some of these sequel talks too. I know that we end up talking about other stuff all the time when we're on here. But what should our next topic be? Any suggestions? I take suggestions from everyone. Francis, I thought the new It was wonderful too. I just thought it was amazing. You had enough. Go and have a cup of tea. Thank you, Matt. I have my tea right here. My big jug. I drink tea all the time. Do you feel that there should be a Wrong Turn 8, or has the name run its course? I'd watch a Wrong Turn 8. I think it's run its course, but I'd watch it if that answers the question. I'm not sure if it answers the question. I think the Wrong Turn movies are fun. Thank you, Francis. We can talk about Scream Queens over the decades. We could talk about Scream Queens. Anybody else like that? Any conventions of horror that come into your area? Oh, in my area, yeah. Monsterpalooza is coming in April. It'll be in Pasadena. And I'm going to that. That's going to be awesome. What about very obscure films, rare films? That's your bag. How about talk about lesser budget movies, low budgets? Maybe original movies versus remakes. I like all of these topics. I know we did a Scream Queen topic before. Why don't we do a low budget and rare film? And why don't we do the low budget and rare film ones? And then we can talk about other stuff if because I may not be able to research that really, really well. Hey, Sandy, how's it going? So I'll be relying on you guys to help me out with the rarities and the low budge. So Brian, you have to be here because I know you're really big on your B movies. So yeah, so why don't we plan on that, and we'll do some Scream Queens. We'll do some Scream Queens and some original versus remakes after that. So I have all those topics in my head. I like all of the ideas. All right. I want to thank you all for joining. And I apologize again for getting frustrated. I try not to lose my cool very often. It does happen. I know you're always here. Well, Matt, then you need to be here next week. Rare film expert. I'm going to try to shoot for this same time, which would be 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on Thursday next week. Going great. Been trying to visit AT more lately. Oh, thank you, Sandy. I have missed you too. How about the low-budget horror movie Chud remake, not Chud the Bud? We will definitely get into the Chud movies next week, Chris. Absolutely. I like the Chud movies. Anyway, thank you. Mwah. See you next time.